What's up, everybody? Guys, girls, senior citizens learning handstands, children of all ages, extraterrestrials, animals. Handstands are for everybody. There's no handstand discrimination here. But I'm going to give you some tips. In this video, I'm going to go over form and positioning, form and positioning. So this is what helps me. This is what I feel from my perspective. It might not be what everybody feels. Everyone teaches differently, and that's cool. This is what has helped me, and maybe it'll help you too. So when it comes to handstands, it involves a lot of muscle groups working together to help keep you stable and aligned. Everyone thinks it's got to be perfect. And handstand's not going to be perfect at first. And mine is far from perfect. But it will get better and better with practice. Don't give up. The real heroes, however, when holding a handstand are our shoulders, our palms, and the flat ends of our fingers. Not our fingertips, but just these flat ends where our fingerprints are. Flat ends of our fingers, palms, shoulders. Those are the real heroes. So, shoulders, fingertips, palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. So let's go over shoulder placement first. I'm back. Shoulder placement, or hand placement, shoulder placement. It's just gonna be straight ahead. Boop. Shoulder width apart. Now, if you want to start off slightly wider than shoulder width apart at first, that's okay. It might be a little easier for you that way. It might not. Either way, in the end, when you become a handstand master, you're gonna be able to do them like this, like this, like this, and even like this, and like this. Close. No problem. But for now, let's start off shoulder width apart. And our fingertips are going to be spread far as possible. Now I'm not holding that, I'm not spreading them and holding them open like that. That's just uncomfortable. I'll just have them far open as I can get them. I'll set my hands down on the ground like this, facing forward, maybe slightly outwards. I never have them facing inwards. That feels awkward. So just straight ahead, fingertips far from each other. And now here is the main ingredient. It's the main thing that I want you to take away from this video. If anything, it's going to be our finger positioning. What I do here is I clench the ground by squeezing my fingers in. You see what I did there? Let's get a closer look. So my hands are in position. My palms are firm on the ground, and then with my fingertips, I'm just squeezing the ends inward. As you can see, this pinky does not want to cooperate with the rest of the fingers. This is a rebel pinky. No matter what I do, I can try to get it in there. Like, it just, boop. You see, it just popped out really fast. No chance. But for some reason, this pinky's like, yeah, I got it down, no problem. If you got a couple pinkies that don't want to bend, then whatever. It's fine. It hasn't affected me so far. As long as you can get this main grip with most of your fingers and really clench hard, this just might save you from falling forward, as it does me. So check it out. Clench. Make sure we're not squeezing in like this. We're not doing the fingertips. No. We're just sliding our fingertips in and creating two contacts of service. So we've got the fingertips firm on the ground. We've got a little open space right here. And then our palms are firm on the ground. Kind of just like how our foot arches a little bit in the center. And your toes are firm on the ground. And your your heel is firm on the ground, you got this little spot open. We're kind of recreating that. Because when we're falling forward, we're going to use our fingertips to push us backwards. When we're falling backwards, we're going to use our palms to dig into the ground and try to push us back forward. If you notice, if you're just standing up and you're going to fall forward, you lift your heels up and your toes start pushing you backwards. And if you're falling backwards, your toes come up off the ground and your heels try to push you forward. It's the same mechanics in a handstand with your hands. So we've created those 2 points of surface, our fingertips and our palms. These are our toes. These are our heels. Falling forward, we let go of the pressure of our palms and we push hard on our fingertips to push us backwards like this. And if we're falling backwards towards our feet, we release the pressure from our fingers, either just by letting go or even by sometimes lifting them off the ground if needed and pulling ourselves back up with our palms. So that's why I say that the real heroes, because this is what really keeps you from falling. I'll do a handstand right now and keep your eyes on my fingers. Watch them at work. They're constantly going to be shifting the balance between my palms and my fingertips. So I'll probably be constantly doing like this motorcycle type action. I'll try to fall back towards my feet, and I'll try to save it by relieving. I'll try to save it by releasing the tension from my fingers. Watch my fingers come off the ground. It's hard to talk in a handstand position, but you see that for a second when I fell back and I let go of my fingers completely, and I was almost able to pull myself forward. You're not going to be able to save yourself 100% of the time, but this is going to help you most of the time. So really practice getting that strong finger clench on the ground. Don't forget it. Your fingers have got to be clenched like that, because if they're just straight, I've seen some people do great handstands with just their fingers straight on the ground, and that's cool. But from the majority of the people that I've seen in videos, the masters, I've just always noticed they have this finger clench, and it took me a little while to figure it out. It took me a little while to figure it out, but when I did, it made a world of difference with my handstand. My balance just got that much better. So practice switching the tension between your palms and your fingertips, just as you would your toes and your heels when falling. So moving on up to our shoulders. They're very important when we're holding our handstand, because the slightest movement is going to throw you off. It's going to turn you side to side or forwards and backwards. I'll show you what I mean. I'm trying to do a handstand right now, and just by using my shoulders, I'll move my body left to right. So the slightest movement can throw your whole handstand off. Your shoulders have got to be stable and locked into place. And what's going to help this is keeping them extended out, shrugged out, I should say. So see our shoulders, see just like this? My shoulders are relaxed. Now, I'm extending them all the way up. I'm shrugging them upwards, reaching my arms towards the sky. I'm relaxed, shrug. That's going to help keep our shoulders locked in position. And it's easy to forget about that. I forget it all the time. So, I'll do a handstand right now. I'll show you relaxed shoulders. And then I'll show you completely shrugged out shoulders. I could do a handstand. These are my shoulders relaxed. Now I'm going to shrug them out right now. Shrugged out. Completely shrugged out. And I feel locked into place now with them when my shoulders are shrugged out. I'm going to relax them right now. As soon as I relaxed them, I felt a little bit less of control. So keep them extended out. Like you're pushing away from the ground. You're pushing your body completely away out of your shoulders. This is going to help you. So that's really where the main balance comes from. Your palms, your fingertips, switching the pressure back and forth, and keeping our shoulders nice and just aligned and stable. And it's going to help by keeping them shrugged out. Hold that shrug. Okay, moving on down to the rest of our body. It's a lot easier from here. Like I said, the real heroes are our shoulders and our hands. The rest of our body, it's fairly simple. The main thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to hold a posterior pelvic tilt. This means that we're keeping our butt tucked in. If you know how to do a hollow body hold on the ground, then you're probably already used to this. I'll give you an example. Check it out. Lay down on the ground flat, like this. Lift your legs up, and lift your shoulders up slightly. Pull your hands back, like a canoe. So the goal is to keep your back flat on the ground. Practice doing that until your back is completely flat on the ground. You can't get your hand under. And that's the position we're going to be holding when we're doing a handstand. So we're going to try to keep our back straight all the way down, and then align it with our pelvic by tilting our pelvic backwards. So instead of like this, we're going to go like this. And hold that position. So we're keeping our glutes, our butts squeezed tight, and our hips tucked and held inwards. Our stomach, however, is relaxed. We're not clenching our stomach like we would most core exercises, like a plank or almost every other exercise. I even clench my core when doing pull-ups and push-ups and dips. But when it comes to a handstand, my stomach, I will find, is completely relaxed. Completely relaxed. I'm not clenching at all. It needs to be relaxed so that you can breathe through it. Because breathing is a very important part, well, of all exercising, obviously. But with handstands, you really got to be in the zone and you got to focus. And finding a good breathing pattern is going to help you balance, help you find that control. And it's hard to do that when your core is clenched tight. It's not necessary. I find it not necessary. So, stomach's relaxed, our butt squeezed tight, our pelvic tilted backwards. So not like this, but like this. Shoulders shrugged out. Same position as a hollow body. I'll show you one more time. You lay down on the ground, lift your legs up, keep your back flat on the ground, keep it touching the ground. You should not be able to stick your hand underneath. And then reach your hands over your head and extend them. That's basically the same position that you're holding when you're in a handstand. So I'll do a handstand now, and I'll stick my butt out, an anterior pelvic tilt, and then I'll correct the position by adding a posterior pelvic tilt where you tuck your butt inwards. So here's the wrong way to do it. Doing a lot of handstands today. So my butt's just tucked out. I'm not really paying attention to it. So I'm gonna tuck it in, shrug my shoulders, have that posterior pelvic tilt, point my toes. See, now my back is flat and straight. My glutes are tight, my butt is squeezed tight. And my hip, I'm holding it inwards like this. I'm not just keeping it relaxed outwards, I'm actually engaging it. I'm holding it in like this by squeezing my butt together. It's helping me hold it there. That's really all there is when it comes down to form and positioning. There's not too many things to think about, yet at the same time, there are many things to think about. It just takes practice. Practice, practice, don't give up, and don't forget that clinch. If anything, focus on that clinch and embed it in your head. That clinch, I mean that finger grip, where you squeeze your fingers together and the flat ends are firm on the ground and your palms are firm. And you're going to practice switching between that motion. Palms pull you forward, fingertips push you backwards. Palms pull you forward, fingertips push you backwards. It's going to save your ass in a handstand. That's pretty much it when it comes to form and positioning. At least for me, those are the things that I think about. I try to keep it really simple, and it works for me. Practice all of those things. At the same time, make sure you're doing strength building. You're doing your pull-ups and your dips and push-ups and squats, and you're building strength overall your entire body. This is going to help you with your handstands. In fact, there are some specific exercises that you can do to build strength that will help you with your handstands, specifically in the shoulders and the wrists. And that's going to be Handstand Tips Part 2, Strength Building for Handstands. I'll leave a link for that in the description, so go ahead and check it out. Be sure to subscribe, and let me know if you guys have any more questions. All right?